Picture this. The moment a mistake hits your desk, maybe it's a missed deadline, a lost client, or just a totally botched product launch, a quiet, completely invisible mechanism activates in the room. And this hidden mechanism dictates right then and there whether your team is going to learn and adapt or hide and fundamentally fracture.
Have you ever noticed how a simple, everyday error suddenly feels like a deeply personal indictment? Well, here is a really counterintuitive truth about mastering leadership under pressure. Most workplaces fundamentally confuse accountability with humiliation. They literally blur the lines. And when humiliation is in the room, identity goes on trial. It essentially communicates, you are the problem. And listen, the second identity is on trial, true responsibility becomes completely impossible. Why? Because all of a person's psychological energy is instantly swallowed up by sheer self-preservation.
But the exact moment this shifts, absolutely everything changes. It's a real game changer. The second a mistake is decoupled from someone's professional worth, taking responsibility becomes relationally inexpensive. That heavy dread just vanishes. Real accountability simply says, hey, something happened. Let's understand it and respond responsibly. When you completely strip away the shame and the character assassination, real, genuine learning can actually take root. Just notice what happens when a team feels like they're under threat. Our natural instinct is defensive accountability. We hear things like, well, I only did that because, or, nobody actually told me the parameters. And it's absolutely crucial to understand that these aren't permanent character flaws. Not at all. They are highly predictable, deeply human, ego-protective strategies. They're just designed to deflect ownership when we feel like our competence or our status is under attack. This is exactly where most people hit a wall. But exceptional teams, they operate differently. Grounded leaders cultivate the internal security to look at a situation and simply say, I can see the impact. They have this incredible capacity to acknowledge a miss, maybe a poor communication or a bad strategic call, without collapsing into a shame spiral or, escaping into an excuse about supply chain issues or vendor failures. Moving out of that defensiveness requires a total internal shift in perception. It all begins by simply recognizing what happened, accurately acknowledging the event without sugarcoating it or trying to spin the narrative. And that naturally flows into owning the exact part that belongs to you, directly, without some dramatic confession. You just state the facts of your involvement. The moment that ownership is established, the focus immediately pivots to repair. You figure out exactly what needs fixing right now to stop the bleeding on a project, and ultimately, this whole mechanism anchors in learning, committing to a tangible, observable change in your behavior or process so that the exact same issue doesn't rear its head again next quarter.
Now, a super common fear here is that this level of humility somehow equals passivity, but look at the stark contrast. Dominance relies heavily on status protection, intimidation, and basically silencing others. True authority, on the other hand, is firmly rooted in responsibility, absolute clarity, and upholding high standards. And the thing is, true authority doesn't require a raised voice. The moment a leader realizes they don't need to diminish someone to lead them, their influence actually expands exponentially.
And this brilliantly illustrates grounded leadership. Carrying authority without dominance is the ultimate hallmark of a professionally secure leader. As a director, a manager, or a coach, you can make the incredibly difficult decisions. You can say no, and you can set firm boundaries, all while remaining deeply, deeply teachable. It's essentially high confidence paired directly with high humility.
To actually maintain this, a leader has to conduct an ongoing internal audit. Take a quick moment to reflect for a second. When the stakes are high, what happens? Do you become controlling? Do you go silent? Do you get impatient? Start by just observing the pressure shadow you cast in the room. The goal here isn't self-judgment, not at all. It's just simple, clear observation of your automatic responses when those deadlines loom. Because the critical difference lies right between your positive intent to establish high standards and the actual environment you might inadvertently be cultivating. You might absolutely intend to create clarity, but if your team is experiencing fear or contempt, well, the environment fundamentally fractures. Ultimately, it all boils down to this single, defining reflection. Can people safely tell you something you really don't want to hear? When truth-telling is genuinely safe, you escape what we call information poverty. You instantly gain access to the real-time, completely unfiltered facts required to make excellent, grounded decisions long before small issues snowball into massive, expensive failures. To really integrate this practice into your own leadership style, I want to invite you to join our school community space, which offers some amazing courses and gives you direct access to myself and our business assets.
Also, make sure to subscribe to YouTube and our social media channels for more explainers just like this one. And finally, contact us for the free printable Humble Accountability Worksheet. It's based entirely on that recognize, own, repair, and learn framework we just walked through, and it's designed specifically to help you prepare for those tough professional conversations or to guide your team debriefs. Before you go, I want you to ask yourself this one question for your next meeting. Are you demanding accountability, or are you just demanding to be right? See you in the next explainer.